Joe Orth and I are starting a podcast. What should we call it?
Hey, don't pick on me. You know why? Because this is why. Let's see what he says.
The Joe Show?
Give Joe the business?
That's right.
Cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe.
What is happening here?
Would you listen?
We'll give you a chance.
Thank you. That's Joe.
That's Rooster.
And this is the Together We Shall podcast, episode 17. What is happening since the last time we visited, bro? What did you learn that you want to share with everybody?
What did I learn that I want to share with everyone? That gas, we might find a break in gas. I don't know, this whole thing that the president's trying to do on this 3-month suspension. It went down 2 cents here, so I was like, gosh. You know how it is, man, on 28-gallon tanks, and I see people 28 gallons sporting diesel. It's like, ugh. But I don't know. I'm learning that there's going to be potentially some relief at the pump. So I haven't fully learned it yet, but I'm excited, especially as I'm gonna venture on a little road trip here shortly.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I heard the same thing, and then I also had to do some research to figure out what the heck it meant. And apparently, it's intended to alleviate the federal gas tax. So it's just at the federal level. So then the states can still have whatever their taxes are. And hey, by the way, the gas producers don't have to keep their prices stagnant. So for every federal tax cent that's removed, the producers could raise the price, ultimately meaning that the gas price doesn't change.
It makes you feel better because the price of crude oil can still continue to rise, granted from crude oil, wherever it may be, the Gulf, the Middle East, till the time you get it into your tank is science, chemistry. Don't do either in public, but it's not quick. It's not in that 3-month period. So
at the risk of getting into politics, I will circle back and say, hey, well, what about the Dolphins, man? I thought you were going to tell everybody about the Dolphins.
Well, I didn't have time necessarily to research the lifestyle of the bottlenose dolphin in the brackish waters of the Potomac River. But there's dolphins in the Potomac River.
Yes. So for all of you that did not listen to episode 16 with the Stakunas clan, you are definitely lost and do not know what we're talking about. But we gave you so much time to get caught up on the episodes. Anyway, listeners, what can we do to make our podcast more inviting? Email us at podcast@ainsleysangels.org. Joe, how many emails have we actually received? Is it less than 20? Almost. Wow.
I think it is less than 20. Less than 20 people with ideas. Every now and then you get the emoji. It's good.
Yeah.
Why is it good? Why is it good? No response.
Well, it's all good. Well, speaking of good, I'm pumped, man. I want to jump into this. I don't want to delay anymore. Let's just go. Let's get Eric Noe on the show here because there's so many things I think that we can all benefit from and learn from, frankly, by a conversation with Eric. So without further ado, Eric, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So where, Eric, are you coming to us from right now, and why are you there?
Bluemont, Virginia. I'm at Boulder Crest Retreat with my family. We're spending some alone time here, just enjoying the time until I have my next testing and surgeries and stuff.
So Boulder Crest Retreat. Where? How far is that from where you live? Where do you live when you're not at the retreat?
King George,
Virginia. So about how far is the Boulder Crest Retreat from your house? About. Estimate. No science here.
2 hours.
Okay. Few hours. And can you describe for us kind of what the Boulder Crest Retreat looks like? It sounds beautiful. I'm just curious.
They have horses that you can see here. And they also have the wooden flag behind me, Joe, you can make your own one of those and bring it home. We did that 2 years ago.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to later get mom or someone to at the end to see it, because I think I know what it. Oh, you're gonna go for it? I mean, if you're willing to roll the dice, yeah, that's sweet. That's awesome. I'm looking at pictures of the Boulder Crest Resort. A little bit jealous. That looks awesome, and there's tons. It looks like to do around there.
They're doing archery this Friday.
Well, Joe, if we hustle, we can make it in time for archery. Although I don't know that we've been invited. So, Eric, how did you have this opportunity? Is it just open to the public? I could load the family up and just roll up there, or what?
It's a veteran family thing.
Oh, so I could load the family up as a veteran and just roll on up there. Or do you have to have reservations? And how's that work?
It's reservations.
I have to definitely take a gander. Well, Eric, I asked you before we started if you've had a chance to listen to any of our episodes, and there's a chance that you may have heard one or two, so you're not entirely familiar off the top of your head about how the flow goes. I will tell you, one of the things that we love about our episode, frankly, is the moment in the show whenever we get to have Miller time. So it is now officially Miller time. And so for everyone out there, we encourage you to get your favorite beverage. It appears as if Eric is going with Gatorade, who is not a sponsor
Yet.
but you never know. I'm going to go with my favorite can of beverage during the daylight hours, which is something inside of my koozie. And Joe has a miscellaneous blue cup that is Silly Pint, is it not?
It is Silly Pine with some orange juice, but Silly Pine is not a sponsor.
Yet.
But this is cool because Waterman's Brewing, I don't know if you can see this, and you shouldn't be able to see this because you should only be listening to us. Waterman's Brewing is a sponsor of the Frosty 5K here in Wilmington. So shout out to a sponsor finally.
Yeah, I love that. Maybe we're onto something. Maybe that's what we need to start integrating, like opportunities for product placement to celebrate the sponsors of the race series. Write that down, Joe. I'm going to have to come back to that. Okay, awesome.
I had that in my Paint Race Series cup too, but I was like, you know what? I don't know what plastic company this is, but Silly Pint, which we used to have on our Finish Line store. These things are awesome. They're squishy, can't break them, dishwasher safe, microwave safe.
Yeah, we still have some. They're actually the shot glasses. So if you go to the Finish Line store and search shot glass, you get like a set of 2, and they're unbreakable shot glasses. And if you don't know what that means, you just have to order one to check that out. Eric, do you have any of our Ainsley's Angels drinkware ever?
No.
Okay, so cups.
I do.
What Ainsley's Angels merchandise are you currently wearing? I think it's an Ainsley's Angels shirt.
My normal pink Ainsley's Angels race shirt.
Nice.
So I assume that it would be safe to say that for all of our listeners that might not know who Eric Noe is, you are an Ainsley's Angels athlete. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
You better believe it. In fact, I recently I recently shared a video of you showing off some of your medals and stuff, man. I thought it was really, really awesome. But before we get into your life as an Ainsley's Angels athlete, I would love for you to tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and maybe your life before Ainsley's Angels, if you want to. Just whatever comes to mind, man. Tell us something that we may not know.
Let's see. Before I've met you guys, it was really hard for me to do activities because of all the hospitalizations and stuff. And in total, I've had a bunch of surgeries because of those hospitalizations. But I'm still kicking in there.
You just always keep driving on. Every time I find myself fumbling on the Facebook there, your mom sharing something that Eric is overcoming with just this courageous spirit and energy. And frankly, that's why I wanted to have you on the show, man, because I think you can teach a lot of people about really resiliency and drive and overcoming things to shape it up. And as much as you're comfortable, you've mentioned surgeries and hospitals. Can you tell us maybe why surgeries in hospitals are part of your lifestyle? And again, I'm respecting your medical privacy, so you share as much as you
I
want.
don't care at all. Most of the times I'm in the hospital is because I get really sick or my sodium's really low, and sometimes I need tubes replaced and stuff. I'm not trying to gross you viewers out, but I have an ostomy because I cannot poop.
So, no, this take us on this ride, brother. So, did you say a colostomy bag? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, and that basically is if you've ever been out and about and you've seen someone with a plastic, is it plastic that hangs out on your belt line? Tell us more about the colostomy bag.
It hangs out on my belt line, and yes, it is plastic. I do not wear a belt because I just don't like to.
Neither does Rooster, even though the Marine Corps told him he's supposed to.
The reason why I have a colostomy bag is because I have intestinal failure.
Okay, is that the same as like IBS, like intestinal, or is that
No.
help me understand the difference between intestinal failure and just explain what does that mean? Does it just is it what it says? Like the intestines have failed?
Yes.
And we have miles and miles of intestines. Is it all of the intestines?
Yep.
Copy. So my friend Eric, his intestines are not working. So as a result, the food comes down the esophagus, enters the stomach, and then from there, it leaves the stomach and goes to a tract that gets to the colostomy bag. Is that fair?
Not me. I don't eat.
So, do you use tube feeding or a way to get nutritions into your body? Help me understand that.
Do you know what a central venous line is?
I think I have heard it, but for those of you that haven't, can you explain it?
This is a double lumen Hickman, which I get fed through every 14 hours.
And that goes,
Okay.
you're currently, for the people listening, Eric's showing us his chest, and this central line is placed on his chest in order to allow nutrition and food to enter his body. Is that right, Eric?
Yes, but the food is technically called TPN. The acronym is called Total Parental Nutrition. And instead of regular lipids, I'm only doing small lipids because the regular lipids are a little dangerous on my bodies right now.
And you mentioned that you don't eat. So as a result of not eating, you do though bring in, I saw you drink your Gatorade earlier, so you can bring in things through your mouth and into your esophagus. What happens then?
I have a G tube that I drain my stomach out later when I have to.
So, like, do you get, I mean, I guess the end nutrition, because it's going intravenous, venous, whatever that term is, right? Like, do you get enough nutrients through that? Like, can you get like a nutrient packed like IV to like try to keep your immune system above?
Okay, I get where you're coming from, Joe, but no, I cannot get it in an IV form.
Yeah, but like when you or mom or dad or
Oh,
whoever
my chest.
yeah, like can you get like you get enough protein through that? Like, because you know when I think
Yeah.
of protein, I think of a steak. But
Yes.
I know you're not shoving a steak in there. So like, are you getting enough nutrients every 14 hours in there?
I would say yes.
That's I got so many questions.
Keep going, dude. Eric has the answers, man, and our audience probably has the questions too. And Eric, thanks so much for being so open with answering these questions.
I get calories in TPN, so if I use too much with exercise, I'm too tired to do anything.
It's yeah, I'm reading all about total parental nutrition now.
And just to restate what you said a minute ago, Eric, you're getting so many calories, but sometimes it's not enough to give you the energy you need. Is that what you said?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
go ahead.
I try to like work out and like go for walks, it takes a toll on my body, and then I would like take a 4-hour nap.
Yeah, so I guess that's really my question. Like, can you not get a whatever, a protein boost in
No.
whatever form? Okay, so you get like whatever. It sounds silly, right? Whatever you get from the store, that's what goes in. There's no additions.
It's actually not from a store. It's made from a pharmacy.
Oh yeah. See, you can't. You should ask them like, you want like protein? Walk around like the Hulk or something.
Dude, I would if I could.
All right. At least we're
Perfect.
on the same page thinking about that.
The reason why I don't eat is because I don't absorb the food nutrition that it gives me because of malabsorption.
Is that what like causes like I know you talked about like a lot of your whatever lipids or whatever you said, and you got to change out your tubes, but is the inability to sustain a certain standard of nutrition part of the reason why we'll say you get sick
Yes.
often?
Got it. So it all makes sense. So yeah, it speaks to the essence of what Darlene talked to us back in episode 13, 14, actually, where she's talking about like, if you're not getting enough rest or if you're not getting enough calories, if you're not getting enough nutrition, that these things can then lead to other things. So ultimately, if you can get to a point where the calories that come in give you what you need in order to have the energy to go and move and think and be awake and live, then that can lead to more of an enhanced life experience. Is that fair, Eric?
Yes,
Okay. So how old are you now?
20. I'll be 21 this year.
All right. Cheers. Another Miller time for. Oh wait, you have to remind me. When's your birthday? Is it
August
what's your-
1st.
Okay, August 1st, 2022. Eric is going to turn 21. And how long have you had the process of doing the central line?
10 years?
Okay, got it. So about 10 years old. And so prior to 10 years old, we were using other techniques to try to get you what you needed nutrition wise. At some point, you were probably eating, or have you had failed intestinal situations your whole life?
I used to eat, but that was a long time ago.
Do you remember eating?
No.
Is it safe to assume that you don't miss eating because you
Oh,
don't
I totally
remember?
miss eating.
Okay, okay. Let's set the record straight, Eric. Go ahead.
If I could, I would chunk down a whole pie of pepperoni pizza
and that would
and
go
have
ahead.
a brownie. If I could.
So that would be your go-to: a pepperoni pizza and a brownie. You would just crush that right now.
Yes.
Sounds
Yes.
similar to Ainsley.
Yeah, hey, that's Ainsley stuff. Pizza and brownies. When you see other people eating pizza and brownies, like, does it make you feel a certain way?
Hopefully one day I will get an intestinal transplant and maybe I'll be able to eat again. But there's a lot of testing that needs to go on till we know what's going to go on.
Bro,
I got questions for days here.
I didn't even know that was a thing, Joe. I didn't even know that was. Go ahead. Go.
Yeah, no idea that's a thing. How does that work? These are all rhetorical. I'm not asking for answers, but these are what's going on. I didn't know that was a thing. How long has it been a thing? Is there like a waiting list?
Yes,
when you
there's
say
a waiting
testing,
list. You have to
like
meet
testing
certain
for you?
requirements.
Hey, Joe. Whoa, Eric's got answers to all your questions, man. So
They
like
do
maybe.
less than 100 a year in the U.S.
And you are on the list.
Not yet. There are only 6 places in the U.S. that do it.
Where? Can you name them?
The Cleveland Clinic in Ohio, UPMC, Miami, Boston, and California and New York.
Dude, you're crushing it, man. You've done your research. No, that's something. Wow. So I'm wondering. God, I have a million questions on this. It's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't bother me.
It's neat that like I don't want to say neat. That's probably a bad word, but I don't know. In light of making light on the situation, like you both have tummy issues.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Eric, did you know I have tummy issues?
No.
So I have diverticulitis, and we could do a whole episode on diverticulitis. In fact, we could probably create our own podcast. And we could be the Gut Brothers, and it'd be like 30 minutes a week with the Gut Brothers. And we could talk about not pooping. We could talk about pooping.
Okay, not trying to make this any more awkward and gross, but no colon's still rolling.
No colon and still going. Yes, dude. Yes, I love
So
it.
I think that's the perfect. So, yeah, no colon, still rolling type of thing. So, let's go back, right? Like, how did you begin rolling? How did you meet Ainsley's Angels?
I met you guys at the Stafford Airport race, 5K airport race.
So what brought you to the airport that day when Michelle Tritt had all the Ainsley's Angels people out there in King George, Stafford, Fredericksburg area? Like, why did you go to the airport? Did you have a flight? What?
We signed up.
So who found out about Ainsley's Angels? Did your mom? Did your dad?
My
Your
mom.
sister? Okay. How did your mom find Ainsley's Angels? And if you don't know, she can just holler right now and tell us.
It was the Abilities Expo.
Wow, that's awesome. Was it so it was like 2015? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, we mentioned this in the episode. I don't know if it made it into the final edit, but yeah, Eric and he rolled in the same place that the Stakuna Strong folks rolled in at the Abilities Expo in DC.
2015.
Love that.
2015, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 2015. Perfect. Yeah, cool. So you went to the Abilities Expo, you learned about it, then you signed up. Well, Eric, did you do a test ride at the Abilities Expo or did you not go that day?
We didn't go that day.
Okay. But mom saw it. Mom signed up. She then got an email eventually from Michelle Tritt, and you rolled up to the airport race because mom signed you up. And what were you thinking that day about what was going to happen?
I was thinking that I would meet new people and have fun. I was a little curious of how it was going to go. And to be honest, it was really fun.
What is one of your biggest memories of that first race?
Freedom. It reminds me of being free because I don't get the chance to be free from the hospital that much.
Wow. Man, that's strong. And that's enough to keep you coming back. I mean, like since then, you've done all kinds of races, 5Ks, 10Ks, halves. I even think you did the Marine Corps Marathon.
3 times.
Come on. That is awesome.
So you got 2 to go, right? At least. You know what happens if you run 5 Marine Corps marathons?
No, sir.
You become part of the Runners Club. There's not a lot of runners or riders that are part of that club.
Ainsley received a letter from the Marine Corps Marathon congratulating her on her noteworthy accomplishment of finishing 4 Marine Corps marathons. And because she passed away before she could do her 5th one, they posthumously entered her into the Runners Club. In fact, her code is RA1. She's the first ever rider to receive this certificate. And it's really, really special. I'm proud of it. But Eric, I bring it up because you will get one of these and be in this Runners Club with Ainsley once you finish your 5th Marine Corps Marathon. How about that?
That's cool.
Very cool. If you are interested in riding or running in the 2022 Marine Corps Marathon, email Joe at ainsleysangels.org. Rooster, Eric, and I would love to see you in October in our nation's capital.
Yeah, well done, Joe. Nice job. Hey, Eric, do you remember some of the people you've run the Marine Corps Marathon with, or any specific stories or something cool about that experience that maybe the listeners would like to hear?
I ran with Lisa from Texas, Amy and Alan from Virginia. I don't know if it was the Marine Corps Marathon or a different race, but torrential downpour. I basically had to get shirtless because of how disgusting it was, and my entire clothes were soaked. And that was in rain gear.
I am pretty sure that's the Marine Corps Marathon 2019. I mean, Joe, it was flooded, man.
I can't yet. I don't know why, because I also know you've done a Ragnar, and I don't remember which Ragnar now though. But my thoughts went
DC.
Marine Corps.
Cumberland
Yes.
to DC.
So yeah, it was either Marine Corps 2019 or DC Ragnar 2016 when both crazy nor'easters.
So you're going to roll back out there this year. What are you most looking forward to for this year's Marine Corps Marathon? Or if not anything specific, is there a race that you're really looking forward to coming up soon?
I can't remember if there's any races that you guys do in the summertime.
The Inclusion 5K, the one that Michelle Tritt is the race director for, that's
Yeah.
the week. That's the week before Marine Corps Marathon.
Like, I'm excited for that.
Well, speaking of that, just this week, Michelle and I finalized the medal design for that race, and it's a good one, if I might add. And no, there will not be a sneak peek yet, but soon enough, when Michelle is ready, she will share the Hop Yard Spirit of Inclusion medal with all of you listeners out there, and you can register on our website.
Outstanding. That's exciting. Eric, what were you going to say?
Just to let you know, Rooster, I want to come over to Virginia Beach to do a race soon.
I'd love to have you, man. Do you have any particular one on your schedule, or you just want to kind of figure that out?
Any.
Okay. Well, you can always just come down to Virginia Beach and we can just get a chair, go run on the boardwalk for an hour. Like, we don't have to have a race, just so you know. Anytime you're in town and I'm in town and my legs are properly stretched out, I will gladly run with you.
Thanks.
So you tell Mom to let me know, and she can text me, and we'll figure that out. But otherwise, yeah, there's always some races. Emily's always got some stuff up her sleeves here for different opportunities to jump in. So yeah, that'd be cool.
What's your favorite? Because so you've done everything from 5Ks, marathons, everything in between, triathlons. What's your favorite distance, and why?
Well, first I would say half marathon, but the second one would be triathlon because you get to do all three in one go.
Yeah, that's fair. I too enjoy the half marathon. It's long enough to, get out there and have fun, but it's also half of a marathon. So
Yeah.
you don't want to get there. What's your favorite half marathon that you've done?
The historic half marathon, because sometimes you set up at different places. It's also cool to figure out where you're starting from. Like this year's historic half marathon, we started at the baseball stadium.
It's neat to be able to run through like your hometown, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of Hospital Hill?
Man, Mom.
No curse words.
It's the middle finger.
Oh, yeah. Brother, that's cool. And this is why we even have the explicit box checked on our podcast. But yeah, man, I too will agree. it's
I really
pretty.
want to pick it up right now.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh god, I don't even know where I was going to go. I had a whole bunch of things I was about to do. That's hilarious.
There's one race that I would like to do, a half Ironman.
Half Ironman. Wow, that's a great goal. I only know a few people that have actually accomplished that, especially a team with a rider. Did you know that Gage was the rider and Joe and Justin did a half Ironman? Did you know about that?
Yeah. I would like to do the full one at one point, but half at first to see how it goes.
So for all the listeners that might not be aware, a half Ironman, we're going to test Eric now. How far is a half Ironman?
Beats me.
70.3 miles. Joe, how long's the swim?
1.2 miles. 56
then-
mile bike. And you wrap it up and put a bow on with a half marathon.
Yeah. He says crap. He wants to do a half Ironman. Joe, how long did it take you and Gage and Justin to do that?
Just over 7 hours.
So,
That's
Eric,
not
you
bad.
sure? The time's respectable for sure, but do you want to do that for 7 to 8 hours?
Hell yeah.
Very well.
Speaking of the course that we participated in Williamsburg has since moved to the Blue Ridge. just the southern Blue Ridge, Roanoke area, and it just happened like last month. So before it gets too hot up there in the mountains, so I assume the views are awesome. I have a friend that did it, and it looked nice. Now, Ainsley would not agree with us because there's hills, and
Yeah, that's right.
I assume a lot of them, and we all know Ainsley does not do hills.
That's correct. Ainsley does not do hills. Good point. Thanks for throwing that back out there. And frankly, Ainsley does not do triathlons either, or go in rafts in the water. So all of these things bode really well for my triathlon career. But I would add, we're limited to a lot of times only one rider per Ironman event. And so, Eric, if you really want to do a half Ironman and you want it to be an Ironman branded event, we got to find one. We got to apply. We got to get it on the schedule. And many times you have to do that as far as a year out. So, Joe is the man with the knowledge on that. It all starts with identifying a race and who you want to do it with. So, something for you to consider.
I'm honestly willing to do it with anyone.
Gotcha. So, listeners, you hear that? Eric wants to do a half Ironman, and there's a lot of steps.
Very marine, like any climb in place type of attitude. I like it.
Outstanding.
I would
Yeah.
also like to do the Disney race. What do you know about that, Joe?
What I know about the Disney race across the spectrum of them, the Goofies, the Plutos, and everything else that's called that, it's very early mornings. But I have never participated. It's very similar to like Ironman, right there, reduced field size. But Rooster, I think, has more information, and we can definitely talk about all that, later with the Ironman.
Yeah, for sure. Disney starts, Eric, usually sometime around 2:30 a.m. You have to be, at the starting line area, and then the race starts early enough to where everybody can finish the race and be out of there before like 7 a.m. And the reason they do that is they have to clean the whole race up in time to open the park up for the guests. So if you don't mind, like a very, very, very early morning, or should I say, not even going to bed the night before, then those races can be super cool. And for a lot of folks, it's the nostalgia of going to Disney and running through the theme parks. I will also add that it's not cheap. The rider and the runner have to register, and I've seen registrations always in the hundreds. I've seen them as high as $300 to register for one of those races. So there's a lot of things that have to be considered ahead of time, not to mention where you stay and how long are you going to be down there. So it can get pretty costly. But hey, bucket lists are bucket lists, right, Eric?
Yeah. But the reason why I want to do the Disney run is because that's where my Make-A-Wish trip was.
Yep, respectable, fair. Love that. When did you do your Make-A-Wish trip?
2016.
You know that, man. Like you're spitting those answers really, really fast. So I'm assuming it was a great, great time.
If you guys want to know, I did Lego World, Disney World, and Harry Potter World.
Wow.
And that was 5 or 6 years ago. So you were at the right age. You were like 14, 15, just crushing it.
Damn it, dude. You just got that song stuck in my head.
What's the song? Sing it to me.
I'm crushing it.
Keep singing.
No, that's the name of the song.
Who sings it?
Brad Paisley.
Brad Paisley, I'm crushing it. That's definitely on Joe's playlist. I could see him tossing that one up. I don't know the song, Eric. I guess I'm gonna have to listen to it, man. I'm sorry to put it in your head. What do you say?
I don't think I've heard the song, and I can't play it now because it'll disrupt the podcast, right? But I went to essentially read about it, and I don't know if it truly is the official music video as the internet's telling me, but it's a play on Beavis and Butthead. So I'm very interested to listen and watch this video when we're done recording here. The level of confusion in my brain right now is high, and their shirts say Cash and Bieber, like Johnny Cash and Justin Bieber.
Here we go. Sure could use an attaboy or a big old high five.
Yeah,
I love to hear you
I think we let
killing it,
Brad sing
dude.
it. We should let
Oh,
Brad
Yep,
sing
that's
it.
the one.
Yeah, we should let Brad sing it. I think that's a better idea.
but I could definitely use an attaboy or a high five. How about a high five? A virtual high five. How about that? Anyway, always spiral out of control really fast, but I'm having fun, Eric, and I'm so glad you spent some time with us today. Like the things that you have been able to accomplish and quite frankly overcome in your 20 years are I'm not going to call them inspirational because I think that word might get used too much. I'm going to say this: they're an example for others to truly think about and leverage in their own minds for how they can persevere. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What do you want everybody that's out there that's listening to know about Eric?
Recently, I learned that I am not going to give up, even if with the odds against me.
Man, that's strong. That's super strong. What do you care to share? Like what happened that got you to that revelation?
Surgery in Ohio was only supposed to take 3 hours, but it went to 10.5 hours. So I don't stop. I'm a fighter.
Yeah, dude, you absolutely are a fighter, man. That's wow. And I assume you're under medicine during
Oh
that
yeah.
time. And when you woke up and they told you it took 10 hours, was that a surprise to you, or did you kind of feel like it took a while?
I woke up 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, man, what was that like?
Time travel.
Time travel. He's like, he's like, I fell asleep now and I woke up and there I was 2 weeks later. Wow, that's
They also say that they think I got stretched out.
during your time of sleep.
Yes.
Because what? So what? You were like 5'8" when you fell asleep and 5'9" when you woke up.
Uh, Something like that.
Yeah, that was my best guess at guessing your height. I have no
I'm
idea.
currently 5'10".
Oh man, so only because you slept for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay, fair, got it. I don't know. That's good. It's very good. What is the thing that you use to keep going, to keep having this ability to never give up? Is it something in your mind? Is it a memory? Is it what do you? I want to bottle it up so other people
Triumph.
can have. Oh, triumph.
You conquering anything that comes in your way.
Triumph. What a word.
Wise beyond your years and motivation. No, motivationally. You're a motivator, Eric.
Thank you,
You
Joe.
know, terms like triumph and freedom and never giving up and continuing to move forward, like those are things that people of all ages and abilities need to harness and work at for sure, especially myself. So it's awesome to always hear someone else remind you to never give up in whatever that aspect of life may be. Health, a puzzle.
Okay, speaking
God,
of
I know it's
giving
puzzles
up,
stress me out.
look when you get to look up that YouTube video, look up their song Overcomer. Overcomer is by Mandiza. It's
Got it.
seriously good.
And these are the types of videos, Overcomer and I'm Crushing It by Brad Paisley, that perhaps you listen to and watch that keep you driven. Is that fair, or did I just say Crushing It earlier and you just thought of it?
It was you saying it.
Yeah. But Overcome, what is it? Overcomer, the video?
Yes.
Is that something that you draw strength from watching that video?
Well, I've never watched the video, but I listen to the song almost every night.
Oh wow. So what does the song mean to you for those of us that have or haven't heard it?
Breaking
Like
boundaries.
wow. Yeah. And when we say boundaries, are we talking about what kind of boundaries? What are you thinking of?
Say that you can't walk. Basically, you're breaking the boundary of physics. you're doing what you're not supposed to be able to. Like, when I was born, they said I would never be able to walk or talk again. I proved to them now they were wrong.
Yeah, dude, you absolutely have. You've overcome all the predictions. You've shown them they were wrong, and along the way, you've broken the laws of physics. Golly, Eric.
Staying in that fight until the final round.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
No, ma'am's cool. You can call Joe yes, ma'am. That's cool.
I don't know what pronoun really even means, so I identify as whatever somebody wants to call me.
Well done, sister. I love that, man. That's perfect.
Sorry, Joe.
Hey, all-inclusive organization.
From now on, Josephine, Joe, Joseph,
Hey, you.
Eric, Erica. How about that?
Perfect.
Okay, that works for me. Good stuff. So, how much longer are you going to be there at Boulder Crest Retreat?
Till Saturday.
Okay, what do you got planned for the rest of the week? We heard archery.
There should be arts and crafts later today. And yoga.
Do you do yoga, Eric?
I tried, but I don't bend very well.
Me either, dude.
Kind of hard.
I'm with you. Yoga it's tough. You guys do you have a dog at home?
Yes, currently 3.
Yeah, right. And if I try to do yoga here, it's like I got 2 small humans and a dog licking me. So that's why I don't do yoga. I don't have.
I thought you were going to make a reference to the downward dog pose when you mentioned a dog. Can you do the downward dog, Eric? Can you do that one?
Yes, but
okay.
The position to moving my body back up will make my head spin. So, not the best idea to do it.
So you start to feel a little bit dizzy, or you lose your surroundings, equilibrium issue?
I get dizzy very easily.
Gotcha. Yeah, Joe does too. If I ask him too many questions at one time, you can actually see he starts.
Didn't really say it, but Rooster likes doing yoga and he likes to do it at Ragnar's and he likes to find his space. And there's some funny clips that we can show at a later date of Rooster doing his stretches, and we'll call it yoga, and just telling others that's my wall. I'm stretching here.
That's such a tangent. Like the opening to our podcast includes is it the closing where you're like, the structural integrity of this building is at the end? That is Joe filming me doing stretching on a brick wall and convinced that the integrity of the building that's about to collapse because I'm putting all my weight and pressure against this brick wall. You can hear that in the outro to the podcast. He was laughing so hard. Well, look, man, I think we're going to wrap this thing up, Eric. Let you get back to your retreat and your fun time there as a family, just kind of reflecting on what we're grateful for. Earlier, you mentioned the word triumph as kind of that word that comes to mind that you keep driving on. Eric, as we wrap up this podcast, what is something that you want to leave the listeners with?
I want everybody to know that they can do anything that they can put their minds to because we are all unstoppable.
You know what? I got enough.
He's in charge.
We're done. This was good.
Yeah, we're done here. The structure of this building has reached its capacity.
Find your people, and if they make you feel sexy, even better.